Historically speaking, the January after the Bitcoin halving, we see the biggest gains of the bull run, and this time it could be bigger than ever because of this.
You'll probably have 200 won't get sold. They'll probably buy another 4 or 500,000 Bitcoin
What?
over the next. Oh, you
You
don't
think
think that's
this
going
is
to happen?
real?
But
Senator, talk
let me
about
tell
it.
you why I think it will happen. Okay.
So will a Bitcoin Strategic Reserve happen in 2025? We'll discuss in this video why the possibility is very high. Plus, institutions are now heavily buying these 4 altcoins before the altcoin season really takes off. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, AltcoinBuzzIO, and as always, not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Alright you guys, starting off today, the big news for January is when Trump gets into office through his inauguration, if a Bitcoin Strategic Reserve is going to happen for crypto in 2025. And we got some more answers here from Alexander Bloom, who is the 2Prime CEO, and is sharing his predictions for crypto in 2025, saying this.
There's two aspects to the strategic reserve. One is, by executive order, Trump can take the Bitcoin that the US government has confiscated and already owns and just say, this is part of our strategic reserve now. There's about 200,000 Bitcoin that the US government already holds. In addition to that, which is maybe a bit more complicated, is there's a bill in the Senate introduced by Cynthia Lummis to buy another 1 million Bitcoin through the Treasury. That is a little bit trickier because it has to go through the whole legislative process and can't just be done with the swoop of a pen. However, I think, if you look at the kind of pros and cons of being pro-crypto, if you support crypto, you get more votes, you get more political donations, and there's really not a lot of benefit to being anti-crypto unless you're completely bought by the banks. And so I think there may be the political will to actually approve that bill as well. We've also seen, it's also significant, not just the US doing it, but it will set a tone for other countries to follow suit, just as other countries have collected gold in the past.
So that is super bullish for Bitcoin because not only will the United States not sell the 200,000 Bitcoin that they have, they'll possibly buy up to 1 million more Bitcoin in the future, but probably closer to 200 to 400,000 Bitcoin if they do it. But also other countries will then start to do the same. I know China has been airing all over their news that the United States would do a strategic reserve. Russia might also follow. Maybe countries like Japan and some other countries like El Salvador has already done for the past few years. So very bullish for Bitcoin if that does happen. We'll have to see towards the end of this month. Then we also have Sonic. So not the Sonic of Phantom, but actually a Sonic on Solana. So Sonic is actually having an airdrop coming soon. So the Sonic Foundation has unveiled Sonic, a utility token set to drive the growth of Sonic SVM and its multi-SVM ecosystem powered by the Sonic hypergrid architecture. This groundbreaking framework combines Solana's high-performance blockchain capabilities with horizontal scaling, solving major challenges in scalability, cost, and customization of blockchain and Web3 applications. So Old Man Crypto says, don't miss Sonic SVM, the Sonic airdrop. They raised $28.8 million. If Ton Network has Telegram, Sonic SVM has TikTok. Easy money in just a few simple steps. So Sonic is having an ongoing airdrop where you can actually potentially earn airdrop points and money by doing quests on TikTok, which is actually crazy. So if Ton has Telegram, the Sonic has TikTok. Then we also have Sonic SVM announcing the Sonic native token to power the Sonic multi-SVM ecosystem. 57% of the Sonic token is allocated to the Sonic SVM community, including tokens reserved for the ecosystem and community, initial claims, and Sonic hypergrid rewards. So a lot of money going towards Sonic and potentially a lot of airdrop rewards coming into the Solana ecosystem, which is always good because whenever there's an airdrop on a chain, that chain usually benefits. By now you've seen that big post-election pump into Bitcoin, taking it past $90,000. But did you notice that Sui is pumping massively as well? It's quickly become one of the leading alts in the market. Sui is killing it in all the big sectors it supports, such as DeFi, where Sui recently crossed $1.5 billion in TVL in record time. Sui's liquidity aggregator DeepBook also launched its Deep token in October. Sui's naming service is launching its NS token in November, with one of the biggest airdrops in the ecosystem so far, as well as gaming, where the new Sui Play OX1 will be the first handheld Web3 gaming device with pre-orders through the roof. And increased access globally with native USDC and Coinbase deposits and withdrawals means getting Sui and USDC no matter where you are is easier than ever. Sui even has a small but growing meme coin market for meme coin lovers. So if you haven't used Sui lately, go give it a try and follow Sui's X account for all the latest updates with a link down below. Then we have 4 altcoins, which actually we have 20, but 4 altcoins we're going to cover today, which institutions are buying heavily. So Grayscale has recently come out with their 2025 Q1 sector research report. And in it, they have 20 altcoins that they are buying, the Grayscale Research top 20. However, we're going to cover the top 4 right now because there's a lot to go through, and you can go through and check the other, there are 14 after this, or sorry, the other 16 after this. But we're going to start off with Hyperliquid. If you follow anyone on Twitter, you've probably seen Hyperliquid being shilled to death. Now, that is the one downside of crypto Twitter. When you see something shilled like crazy, and I saw this on my timeline like crazy a couple weeks ago, I knew that the top was probably at least the local top for the near term. It was just nonstop. Everyone was talking about Hyperliquid. And of course, we talked about this last week where Hyperliquid was starting to have a bit of a sell-off. So we were looking around here. I said, this probably doesn't look that good. We broke market structure. And now we are forming this, lower high here. It's probably going to consolidate down here. I was targeting down toward this blue box. It looks like it's holding up for now. However, we're kind of in just this range right here. You can see we're just kind of in this range between these two lines. So between $23 and around $29, $30, we're in this range. A lot of people have a lot of rewards that are going to be distributed. So a lot of people made a lot of money for them to airdrop, and a lot of people still haven't sold. So we might just distribute for a little while longer. However, institutions are starting to pick it up because it is such an actual amazing token. So they said Hyperliquid, which is a layer 1 blockchain designed to support on-chain financial applications. Its primary application right now is a decentralized exchange for perpetual futures, featuring a fully on-chain order book. And Steven says Hyperliquid has hit $1 trillion in all-time volume with just a niche USDC bridge on Arbitrum. Can you imagine what happens when native bridges from Bitcoin, ETH, Solana open up, with native spot assets for those chains becoming tradable on Hyperliquid? So all of this, to get to Hyperliquid, you have to send USDC to Arbitrum, and then you have to send it over to Hyperliquid on their platform. So he's saying with this niche bridge on Arbitrum, imagine what happens when Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana all become bridgeable to Hyperliquid. A lot more volume is going to come into it as well. Then DeFi Llama says, Hyperliquid is currently generating $1 million plus in revenue nearly every day. And then Alex, the CEO of Nansen, says Hype is now number 1, $182 million staked on Nansen Hyperliquid. So this is the tweet that I was seeing every single day. Everyone would just end their tweet with Hyperliquid. So when you see like a row of tweets, you know the top was in. I think this is going to be a good one to accumulate on the long term. I do see us probably going to $100 this cycle, not anytime in the next couple of days or so. But I do think we probably do something like this, and we eventually come back and then head towards $100 once a lot of people have eventually sold their airdrop. I know a lot of people were selling it before the holidays and the new year. So that's potentially what this is right now. But Hyperliquid has really good tokenomics as well. Moving on to the second token that Grayscale is buying, and that's Athena, and that's ENA. Now, Athena Protocol has developed a novel stablecoin, USDE, which is backed primarily by hedged positions in Bitcoin and in Ether collateral. Specifically, the protocol holds long positions in Bitcoin and Ether and short positions in perpetual futures contracts on the same assets. A stake version of the token offers from the difference between the spot and futures price. So they have a stablecoin based on these perpetual futures. I know originally when Athena came out, I wasn't too fond of it with how odd it sounds and how too soon Luna was a couple years ago. However, people much smarter than me believe that it's really good. However, that happened with Luna. However, I do really like the new stablecoin that they've come out with. So Athena, which is enabling internet money and their synthetic dollar, they have USDE, but recently they also launched their new stablecoin product, which is USDTB, backed by BlackRock's Biddle Fund in partnership with Securitize. So this is actually a lot better for me in terms of stablecoins on Athena. So their new stablecoin is backed by BlackRock's Biddle token, a money market fund tokenized with the help of Securitize. So the new USDTB token aims to keep its price pegged at $1, no matter what happens in the crypto market. How? By holding 90% of its reserves in Biddle, a token tied to real-world assets managed by BlackRock, one of the largest asset managers in the world. So when crypto goes down, a lot of things tend to break, and we saw that with Luna back in 2022. So when things break, everything seems to unravel. And so that's why I didn't necessarily love the USDE token, because what happens if oracles stop providing the right price or this or that, and things depeg, which could definitely happen. So I don't know all the intricacies. However, I do like this much more, and it's a lot easier to understand for retail as well. BlackRock, the biggest asset manager in the entire world, is holding a bunch of treasuries, securities, all these things, and the Biddle Fund, which is a tokenized version of that, is holding all of these. And so now they are holding 90% of their reserves to peg it at $1. So let's say crypto does collapse again in 2026 or something like that, and all these assets go down. Well, if BlackRock is holding treasury bills and other assets in the real world, it's a lot less likely that this USDTB is going to depeg at least that much. I mean, maybe it goes down to 90 cents because it's 90% of the reserves, but it's a lot less likely to depeg when it's backed by, the BlackRock can securitize and real world assets. So I do like that about ENA and their new token. Then the next coin that Grayscale is talking about is Virtuals Protocol. This is the big one right now. Virtuals and AI are going crazy right now. Actually, Virtuals today had like a blow off top moment. This morning, we look at this absolute insane chart. So this is Virtuals AI agents. I'm sure if you're on Twitter, you see this. But we had a bit of a blow off top today where we just kept going like crazy. We went up to $5.25. And then we had a bit of a sell-off because obviously people are starting to take some profit. We could still continue to go up, but it was absolutely insane on the daily chart, the parabolic curve that Virtuals has gone through. And Virtuals Protocol, if you don't know, is the platform that facilitates the creation of a lot of these AI agents. So you need Virtuals token to create a lot of these AI agents, and so it's been taking off like absolute craziness. So Virtuals, Grayscale says, Virtuals Protocol is a platform for creating AI agents on Base and Ethereum Layer 2 network. These AI agents are designed to perform tasks autonomously, mimicking human decision-making. The platform allows for the creation and co-ownership of tokenized AI agents, which can interact with their environment and other users. Also, the total AI agent market cap is at $17.6 billion, and Virtual Protocols accounts for 20% of that alone. Now sitting at over $5 billion, Virtuals accounts for over 60% of all AI agents on Base, which is, absolutely insane. And I could also see why, if this is over $5 billion, some of this profit might start rotating. If people have been in this from all the way down here to up to $5 billion, they might start to rotate into other smaller AI agents now, because $5 billion, how much more can you go if you have been riding it from all the way down here? So a lot of people probably are taking profit and then rotating into other coins. And the last one today, we have Jupiter. So Jupiter is the premier DEX aggregator on Solana, boasting the highest TVL among all applications on the network. And as retail traders increasingly enter the crypto market through Solana and speculation intensifies around Solana-based meme coins and AI agent tokens, we believe Jupiter is well positioned to capitalize on this growing market activity. So Jupiter is the biggest DEX on Solana and is, benefiting the most from the trades, although the chart doesn't look amazing. I gotta say, on the 3-day chart, we're not looking the best. However, Solana is starting to make a bit of a comeback today. It's about $209. So we've made a comeback on Solana, which also brings the Jupiter in the Solana ecosystem have a comeback. But I will say it has been underperforming because of the upcoming token unlock, which we're about to talk about. So last year, this year, and next year, they are doing Jupiter airdrops, and so they're giving back to the community. And because everyone knows this, there's a lot of selling pressure, which is why the chart doesn't look amazing. So Jupiter is having their 2025 Juperary, and this is the first overview of the upcoming Juperary, that's hard to say, distribution. The team decided to go with a split between users and stakers and carrots and good cats. This way, we're trying to appreciate everyone in the Jupiverse. God, okay. So Jupiter has announced the details of their second airdrop, which will be tier-based and subject to change. If you have at least $800 in volume, and you'll be eligible for 50 Jupiter in their airdrop. $800 is probably not hard to do in terms of total volume if you've ever used Jupiter, which I'm sure you have because it's probably the best swap right now on Solana. So if you have done $800, you'll be getting 50 Jupiter. If you've done if you've done $29,000, which is still very much possible, you could get 250. 500,000, a lot less possible, but you get 3,000 Jupiter. And so at the current price of just about $1, let's say, by the time the airdrop happens, you could be getting $50 or $250 for this next airdrop. So make sure to check that out if you haven't used Jupiter Swap yet. It is amazing, and they're going to be doing another one next year as well. Now, one thing to know about the Jupiter airdrop and why there's so much sell pressure on the token, because obviously this chart doesn't look amazing because people know that there's an airdrop coming. However, what they've done to fix that is they actually had some governance votes. So there's actually a supply reduction proposal. So with a fully diluted value of over $10 billion, some users are worried, and rightly so, that it creates a lot of uncertainty with Jupiter's future price. In comparison, Jupiter's current market cap at the time of writing is only $1.5 billion. This meant that future emissions of Jupiter token could create high amounts of downward price pressure on Jupiter. To address this, We Are Meow, who's the owner, proposed to the community if it's okay to reduce 30% of Jupiter's maximum token supply. This will be achieved by a voluntary 30% reduction in the team's allocation of Jupiter, a 30% reduction in Jupiter emissions, airdrop reduction, so this year and next year there's 30% less being airdropped, and corresponding reductions in liquidity pools and strategic reserves. And this proposal was passed, meaning that Jupiter's maximum token supply would gradually be reduced down to 7 billion tokens instead of 10 billion. And this change would decrease Jupiter's fully diluted value by at least $3 billion at current market prices. So that is good for Jupiter in the long term. So afterwards, after this airdrop happens, I do expect us to go back up to new all-time highs, especially because we are going to cut out 30% of the entire potential supply, which is very bullish. And when proposals like that get passed, prices tend to skyrocket. So we'll have to see where Jupiter goes in the after January, after this airdrop happens. But that is one. That is the fourth one that is Grayscale is buying today. So those are 4 important altcoins to keep an eye on. Then we also have a lot more like Jito, Grass, and then they have a bunch down here like Solana, Chainlink, Sui. A lot of ones that we talked about before, but these are 4 that we haven't necessarily talked about very much and are very important to watch, and a lot of institutions are going to be looking at. So that is the video for today, guys. We are starting to make a bit of a comeback on Bitcoin on the daily chart. We're looking decent. We're out around just under $97,000. Our next big resistance zone is going to be about $100,000. If we can break through this going into Trump's inauguration, which is kind of what the next bullish catalyst is for Bitcoin, going into the inauguration over the next couple of weeks, it would be nice if we could come back and break through new all-time highs by inauguration. But anyway, that's the video for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.